In John chapter 1, verse 1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." I want to focus today on the latter half of that verse. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. At first glance, this doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. How can A be with B while A equals B? It can be a difficult thing to wrap our minds around, but this is what the doctrine of the Trinity seeks to explain. This is not a contradiction. If somebody's going to contradict themselves, they don't usually do it one phrase after the next. Similar things happen elsewhere in the Bible. In Proverbs chapter 26, verses 4 and 5, I believe, it says, answer a fool according to his folly. And then in the following verse, it says, do not answer a fool according to his folly. The point is not that these are contradictory, but there is likely a time to do each based on the circumstances. We can be confident that John was not immediately contradicting himself after saying one thing and then saying something else exactly the opposite. So how can this be understood? The simplest way is to say that God exists in three persons, although God is one. God exists in the form of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. While the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are each separate and distinct from one another, fulfilling different roles within the Godhead. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." It means there is one God. There is not three gods. There is one God existing in the form of three persons. Colossians chapter 1, verse 19, speaking of Christ, says, "In him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell." That means Jesus Christ was very God. Jesus Christ was not sub-God. Jesus Christ was not lesser than God, but Jesus Christ was God in the flesh. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 3 say, "He is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature." Exact imprint of his nature. That cannot be said of you or me. We become partakers of the divine nature, but we are not the exact imprint of his nature. John chapter 1, verse 18 says, "No one has ever seen God, the only God, who is at the Father's side. He has made him known." And that's actually how John ends the section that we're studying in John chapter 1. No one has seen God, yet the only God, who is at the Father's side, has made him known. That's Jesus Christ. Lastly, in John chapter 16, verse 28, "I came from the Father and have come into the world, and now I am leaving the world and going to the Father." Jesus Christ, God in the flesh.